and a warm welcome to everyone present here. I, Shumana De, along with Tanishta Park, are here as the host for the virtual inauguration ceremony of the auspicious centenary year celebration of our Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIEST Shibpur. The inception of our Mechanical Engineering Department may be traced back to the pre-independence era of the country with the initiation of diploma courses in 1921. This year, our department has completed 100th year since its establishment. Today, to witness the mark of our centenary celebration, we are elated to have the presence of our Honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, Sir, our respected Deans, Dean Academic, Professor Shudip Kumar Roy, Dean Planning and Development, Professor Shubhashish Bhaumik, Dean International Relations and Alumni Affairs, Professor Arindam Biswas, Dean Research and Consultancy, Professor Hafizur Rahman, Dean Faculty Welfare, Professor Prashanta Kumar Nondi, and Dean Student Welfare, Professor Debobroto Mojumdar. We are very proud to have with us our chief guest, Professor Amitabh Ghosh. We have with us our honorary guest, Professor Gautam Biswas. We are graced by the presence of our dignitaries, Mrs. Anjana Ganguly Roy, President Gabesu, Mr. Achyut Ghosh, former President Gabesu, Mr. Shitangshu Shekhar Ghosh, Secretary of Gabesu. We also have with us our beloved alumni, Mr. Tapush Kumar Som, Professor Amitabh Sarkar, Professor Amitabh Jana, and Dr. Borun Chakraborty. We are also expecting the presence of Dr. Joshnamay Chakraborty and Dr. Torun Kumar Singho.
Now, I would like to request our head of the department and chairperson of the Centenary Celebrations Committee, Dr. Shudip Ghosh sir, to welcome all the dignitaries, professors and students present here and give a brief about all the events that would happen ahead.
Good afternoon. It's indeed an opportunity of a lifetime to be part of a centenary celebration of so renowned a department that has gifted the engineering world with so many successful engineers, researchers, educators, and entrepreneurs for a century. More so, when my destiny has put me into this chair of head of the department, so as to be able to host the centenary celebration. As you might be knowing, the department started its journey in 1921 with a diploma course and subsequently added bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs. Today, we have close to 500 undergraduate students, about 60 postgraduate students, and about 50 PhD scholars concurrently enrolled into this department's courses. Because of pandemic restrictions, we could not plan to hold activities requiring physical gathering and have therefore planned for several online events. We would explore possibility of holding some physical events later in the year to follow. There will be a centenary lecture series, and the first centenary lecture will be held today itself immediately after this inauguration program. A few research workshops are also proposed to be organized by different student chapters attached to the department, like the ones associated with the ASME, IMECI, SAE, and ISTE over the next few months, covering various domains of mechanical engineering. Also, the Student Society of the department, SME, has planned for their annual technical fest Impetus 5 to coincide with the celebration. On behalf of the Centenary Celebration Committee, I welcome our Honorable Director, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, to preside over the session. I welcome our Chief Guest, Professor Amitabh Ghosh. I welcome our guest of honor, Professor Gautam Biswas, to this inaugural event. I also welcome members of alumni. Some very senior alumni are present here today. We have with us Mr. Achyut Ghosh, Mr. Borun Chakraborty, Dr. T.K. Singho, Professor Amitabh Sarkar, Professor Amitabh Jana. They are also supposed to join. Professor Mr. Taposh Som, he may also join. Let me also welcome our present and former members of our faculty, all other present and past students of the department, and other guests joining this event online from outside. I would now request our Honorable Director to take charge of the session. and lead the proceeding. Thank you. Honorable Director, sir, please.
Good afternoon. Namaskar. On behalf of the Institute, I extend a cordial and warm welcome to all the delegates who have joined with us in this inaugural session for the centenary celebration of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. And as you know that as the entire world is going through this pandemic situation and we could not come out of this pandemic situation. Every year, end of the year, we are hopeful that the next year will be better. But at the end of the year, some new variant or mutant coming in front of us and threatening us. So, and that's why we are again meeting on this digital platform. And there is no choice, but this kind of program and celebration of this kind of thing should be in the physical mode. Then you really get the feeling that completing a journey successfully for 100 years is not a simple thing. It's a big achievement. And as you know that the institute is one of the oldest institute and completed its journey of more than 165 years so far. So those who are students or stakeholders somehow connected with the institute must feel proud being associated with this institution. And I too is not an exception that I feel blessed that I got connected with this institution in some way or other. So that's a great privilege for all of you who are associated. Now I formally welcome the chief guest, Professor Amitabh Ghosh, up to this function, and Professor Gautam Biswas, the guest of honor today, inaugural session. And you have a lot of galaxy of people who are the alumni of this institution and this department. They have been the students of this. I cannot take all the names and not with me also now who have joined online. But I can see Mr. Achyut Ghosh, who was the president of Gavishu the last time, is here, and then Anjana Ganguly, and a lot of other Tapas Shon has given to understand that he'll be joining shortly. So all big names you find that who are present today, and that shows that the kind of attachment they have with this, that in spite of all kinds of their responsibilities, they have made it possible to attend this inaugural session. And when I joined the institution, I found this. I visited mechanical engineering department, but I was expecting much more to see, but somehow it could not happen because I could see some of the departments, mechanical engineering departments, in some of the IITs, and when I found that we do not have this adequate infrastructure here, the reason is obvious that in 2014 only we got the government funding. Before that, the state government funding was very limited, and because of that, we could not develop the infrastructure that way. But again, after the transformation, also there are certain issues. Because of that, we could not provide generous support to not only mechanical engineering department, but we could not give the support to all departments. There were certain issues which are at the last stage of settlement with the ministry, and we are hopeful that we'll be able to settle it, and we'll be able to provide generous funding to all these departments, including mechanical engineering department. So I'm hopeful about that. I must congratulate the mechanical engineering department that whatever little support we could have given to all this department from our own resources, that internal revenue, and they have utilized that money and started to upgrade this laboratory. But a lot more has to be done, right? I was looking for advanced CNC machine in the lab, which I could not see. And you know that this is the age of 3D printing. 3D printing has reached a level that where virtually anything and everything can be, starting from toys to car and aircraft, small aircrafts to human organs. Anything is possible with the help of 3D printing. And I think mechanical engineering can play a very significant role in this area, and they need to develop. And the We are planning to develop this workshop to that level also with all CNC machines, because all these old lathe machines and these things are, this kind of exposure may not be very, very relevant these days. So we must be more and more banking on computerized machines. And any field of engineering you name, mechanical is a part of this, right? Even though you have, you know that electronics has spread in all branches of engineering like anything. So mechanical has become electromechanical now. So every component machine is electromechanical. But nevertheless, you cannot completely do away with the mechanical system in any engineering. So it's going to stay there, but in a new form. You name the MEMS devices, micro electromechanical system. So mechanical has to be there. Without mechanical, this electronic system or devices will never work. So you cannot undermine this mechanical engineering or their contribution. They will be useful in future, but in a new form. New form it is going to come, and we must update ourselves so that we are not left behind. We must create some facilities which are the state-of-art facilities. One I mentioned about this 3D printing, and another all this CNC machine. And third, I will emphasize on that, since a lot of emphasis is given on non-conventional energy these days, and the whole world is thinking of switching over to automobiles, which will be completely your non-conventional energy based automobiles, electric vehicles, which you call, and mechanical engineering has to come forward with the support of electrical engineering and our green energy. They should all come together. And if you have a good plan or idea, the institute can fund it also for developing electrical vehicles, right? The biggest challenge is that recharging of these electrical vehicles, right? So going to a charging station, standing in queue is not a solution. You'll have to find an alternative solution to this quick charging of these your batteries for electric vehicles. And we must focus on driverless cars now, because this is going to come in a very, very big way. So everything will be monitored by machine, not by human being. So if 2-3 departments can come together and develop or take up a project on developing driverless electrical vehicles, could be a good idea. Then I think IIEST Shibpur can take a big role. We are fortunate to have this solar hub here. So non-conventional energy, we have made good amount of progress. Even though most of these your automated vehicles, electric vehicles will be banking on rechargeable batteries, but solar energy also can be, or it can be in the hybrid mode also. These kind of new ideas and innovative ideas are to be brought in. And all departments, I expect that in the emerging area will have to contribute to make a mark. So that's very, very important. And I think that the kind of backup you have in terms of illustrious alumni you have, and good faculty members you have, enthusiastic students you have, PhD students you have. So if we can pull all of them together, I think we can make it possible. We should not be following some of the IITs. It should be you have the capacity and capability of leading others. As a leading institution, you should take up this. Recently, one project has come, has been submitted by the department, which I said that I have said that yes, you go ahead with this and get these facilities. And I believe that that kind of testing facilities, which is used by defense and other organization, will be a good thing for the mechanical engineering to start with. So I have approved it. Money will not be a problem if you have a good idea, right? Just for buying computers and this spending money is the easiest thing one can do. So whenever I find that somebody proposing something which is different from buying computer, I have no hesitation in approving that. And mechanical engineering recently has come with a your proposal, which has been approved. And I want to see that in that the head of the department will take interest and make it possible that money which has been given, that you spend the money. If more money is needed, that we are also ready to give. But your idea should be innovative and do something, develop a lab, at least one lab, which is the state of the art lab, and working in the research area, which is the thrust area identified by the government, then only it will be possible to get support. And I will request all the faculty members, particularly young faculty members, in particular, to submit a research project which has social relevance, and then getting its sanction would not be difficult. Not only for academic purpose. Now this time has come to do something which will really help the country, and that is the need of the hour, and the focus is on that. Do something which has societal needs. We are talking of smart cities, developing smart cities, and a lot of government missions are there where money is available. So to get funding only for academic interest, don't create research proposal, right? So we'll have to see all those identified thrust areas by your Niti Aayog's recommendation or the government of India's mission or the vision document which they have. If you can tune them in line with those, then I think we'll be able to make a significant contribution to the nation. Because always we say that this institute is contributing to the service of the nation. So now I expect this is will be done. And I once again congratulate the head of the department and his team, entire mechanical engineering team, for taking this initiative in spite of this is the one of the busiest time now in terms of examination going on, submission of marks, etc. In spite of that, you have taken this pen to organize this, and there's a series of events. The head has informed me that students are getting involved, the societies will get involved. You will have a lot of lectures available with us, but organizing or celebrating something which ends up with no result has no value actually. What I will suggest that the people who will be lecturing during this celebration period, they should be archived, right? And we have the digital education hub where I have told that uh, chairman of that digital education hub to store all this information, right? So that this can be seen by others also, that one place will store all these important lectures, because you don't get the opportunity to hear it again and again from these people. So if it is in the archive, so anybody can watch this program when they like it. So if you can do that, that will be a good suggestion. And end of the celebration, there should be a report, concrete report submitted to my office that these are the support you are expecting from the institute to help financially. Depending on the available fund, I'll make as generous as possible. And what is the major outcome of this kind of celebrations and lecture? If you may give it in the form of a report, then whatever assistance is required from the institute administration, I promise that that will be extended to the department. So I look forward that mechanical engineering should come in a big way now, right, and take the forefront. And thank you all the dignitaries who are present here, all my esteemed colleagues who have taken out their time and present here, the students who are so enthusiastic have attended this program. I thank all of you, and once again congratulate all of you for organizing this program. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for those wonderful words. Now, with the permission of our respected director, we would like to commence the program with a lamp lighting, a virtual lamp lighting, sir.
So,
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
thank you, sir.
Go ahead. Everything is virtual, so let it be virtual also.
Yes.
Lighting the lamp.
Okay, so we have a nice video for lighting the lamp.
Good.
With that marks the dawn of our centenary celebrations. Now, I would like to request our Dean Academics, Professor Shudip Kumar Roy, to address us.
Good evening, respected Director, respected Professor Amitabh Ghosh, all dignitaries present in this virtual program, faculty members of Mechanical Engineering Department, all alumni, and my dear students. It is really a great pleasure for me to participate in this centenary celebration of the Mechanical Engineering Department of IIEST Shibpur. This department is serving our nation, not only our nation, but also the entire world for the last 100 years by producing a galaxy of alumni. The alumni members of this department, they have contributed a lot in different sphere of their different sphere of the life. But being a member of the academic world or academic institution of technical institution, I feel special proud when I think that 3 alumni of this institute have headed 3 different IITs of the country. Professor Amitabh Bhattacharya, Professor Amitabh Ghosh, and Professor Gautam Biswas. This department, they have a very, in the older days also, they have this department was served by a number of giant faculty members, giant teachers who have contributed a lot on not only to the development of this institute, but in building the students, make them fit for the industry. And they, but the present day faculty members are also doing the same way. They are contributing a number of projects, number of research works, other than conventional mechanical engineering teaching. They are also involved in different research topics like vibration control, renewable energy, tribology, biomechanics, and non-traditional machining, and many others. I am from a civil engineering department. And that is why I have a special fascination for this department also, because there are the many topics, at least at the beginning of the curriculum, are very much are common for both the civil engineers and the mechanical engineers. As a faculty members of this institute, and also now as a dean, I am very much involved with the present the faculty members and the students of this mechanical engineering department. And I hope in future this department will flourish a lot, and this centenary celebration will also bring a new dimension, new direction for this department. This will also help to build the better relation among the alumni in the industry and the faculty members of this institute. With this, I like to conclude here, and I express my sincere thanks to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to say a few words in this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those words, sir. Now, today we have with us our guest of honor, Professor Gautam Biswas. He's the professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Kanpur. Now, I would like to request Sir address us.
Thank you very much. I could unmute myself now. I was trying for long. Anyway, esteemed Director of the Institute, Professor Parthasarathi Chakraborty, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Amitabh Ghosh, Head of the Department, Professor Sudip Ghosh, all the respected deans, and I understand that from alumni, Professor Dr. Achut Ghosh and sorry, the telephone disturbances are there. So Dr. Achut Ghosh and Dr. Anjana Ganguly, they are also present. And all the distinguished guests in this, virtual gathering. I extend a warm greetings to all of you, and as already been mentioned by everyone, all my earlier speakers, that it is remarkable that the mechanical engineering department is celebrating the centenary, and it's definitely a remarkable hallmark in the academic history. Today, probably more relevant is how we manage or how we overcome impediments due to the pandemic, and this change is required in the two interwoven domains of online and offline education, and that has to permeate the deep structure and operating model of the university system. The university system needs to open up and embrace collaborative learning and collaborative knowledge production. The web has, in a way, democratized learning. The universities must embrace its potential and take the discovery learning to the next step. The emerging model built on the power and ubiquity of learning, launched by the open courseware movement led by MIT, and then it was very sufficiently aided by IIT system through NPTEL. I had my personal involvement intensely in NPTEL. Professor Amitabh Ghosh is also here. I have probably 6-7 courses now. Professor Ghosh also has 3 courses there. Now this will give basically the teachers and learners everywhere the ability to sorry, I'm getting disturbed by phone calls. I'll just mute it. So availability and access and share of materials, then scholarly publications, scientific work in progress, teleoperation of experiments. So these are quite easily available on the net, and quite a few of us are continuously feeding in all these facets. As I said, that availability and access to the learning material, scholarly publications, scientific work in progress, even teleoperation of the experiments. Now, this will perhaps have a more economic efficiencies and raise quality of education through a global endeavor. Universities need to constantly think their strategies in the light of complete learning. The expectation of the society is growing all the time, and there are more pressures that are very hard to balance today. The higher education institutes are being asked to produce more research and also to teach more students in a more personal way. The society has to understand that universities do not exist just to produce economic benefits. They are also important in providing equity, social cohesion, and noble thoughts. This perpetual creation of noble thoughts is one of the responsibilities of the university system. They require to nurture knowledge and generate new knowledge. So the questions are how to do the changes in the organization of higher education institutes to relate changes in intellectual programs and relate to the strategies to advance knowledge. How do global, national, regional, and local contexts help to determine the character of modern higher education institutes? So these are the challenges. I was very impressed and sensitized with the remarks of Honorable Director about 3D printing or about remote charging of electric cars. Now, just to mention about it, these are all very important areas of research, and probably it is not incongruous to mention that in 3D printing, one of the stalwarts all over the world is an alumni of IIEST Shibpur. He is, no more unfortunately today. Very recently, he breathed his last. He is Professor Jyoti Majumdar of University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. He was one of the pioneers in developing 3D metal printing machines, which is called today 3D printers. And he has a spin-off company also. Its name is POMS, and they sell such machines all over the world. In remote charging also, there are quite a few schools where the remote chargers of electric vehicles are being developed. I will not really, I'm not carrying the entire list, so I cannot give you immediately, but I know at least one alumni from IIST who is in University of California, Los Angeles today. She is quite vibrant researcher in this area. Another, I can name some, I did not really do the homework. Another notable researcher is in University of California, Berkeley. And incidentally, all of them are alumni of IIST. So, if we want to take a stock of such, list, it will be enormously long. But one thing, admittedly, I would say that probably Amitabh is also here, he will also agree, that when this huge effort was undertaken by alumni of B College or BESU under the leadership of Professor Anandakrishnan, Professor Amitabh Ghosh, and Professor D.V. Singh. Unfortunately, Professor Anandakrishnan and Professor D.V. Singh are no more today. Professor Ghosh gave a real leadership, and whatever way it was possible for us, I tried to support. Professor Indranil Manna tried to support. Even we had a session in the parliament in support of this. But while doing all this, we could understand one thing very hard way, that IIEST or BESU or Shibpur, they have produced galaxy of eminent engineers who have served the country, which is obviously commendable. But admittedly, one of the sister institutes that was converted into IIT is IIT Roorkee. If you take a stock of the real research base, that is quite different in IIT Roorkee. IIT Roorkee, in our course of travel, struggled very hard to do research in almost all the areas, including mechanical engineering. And, it is not very easy to remain as frontline researcher without the aid and assistance of government money. They did not have that till they became IIT Roorkee. But that enthusiasm was there, that culture was there. Professor Sudip Ray, Dean Academic, he was mentioning about civil engineering. Indeed, civil engineering and mechanical engineering, they have a huge overlap in the area of mechanics. And mechanics doesn't end with first year, basic mechanics course. It's a different paradigm. It can connect you even to celestial dynamics. So that part of mechanics, and again, if you want to take a stock, you will find as eminent researcher as Gautam Dasgupta in Columbia University, who is one of the stalwarts of compliance mechanics. He is and many others. Professor Ghosh is here. He will be able to give you the names. They are doing excellent research. They have done excellent research elsewhere, but doing research sitting at IIST Shibpur was not possible for them. But total research culture could not flourish to the extent it flourished with University of Roorkee when it became IIT Roorkee. So we are again, all those chapters must be forgotten. We have to start everything new. We have to start everything in a very exciting manner. And I would suggest that Industry Connect, doing something from industry, those are eventual outcomes. If the institute can form a deep-rooted research base, can inculcate on research culture and proliferate, in research paradigm. So with this small prayer, I would like to stop here today. I would have stayed longer, but today at Kanpur, we have our 54th convocation, and somehow Institute administration wants me. I have finished all these things as director of IIT Guwahati, but the Institute administration wants me to be present in the, because Prime Minister was here, so degrees were not distributed. From 6 o'clock, degree distribution ceremony will start. I have to be there, but I'll stay as long as possible. Especially Amita Hoda will be speaking. It's always a pleasure and fortunate paradigm to listen to him anywhere, whether it is mechanics or whether it is general talk. So I wish you all the best. I wish you an excellent celebration, and as I hope to see my alma mater, see my parent department to really come up big with research endeavor, with research drive, with research initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. Next, we would like to move ahead and call upon our other dignitaries. I would like to request Mrs. Anjana Ganguly Roy, President of Gabesu, to come and speak a few words.
Check if Mrs. Ganguly Roy is unmuted or not.
Yes, sir, he is unmuted now.
Oh, I was actually not ready for this. I never knew that I would need to speak. But anyway, as a part of this, great institute, and yeah, I'm from Electronics and Telecommunication Department, and I have seen this department, the great professors, the great students from my batch. In fact, Gautam Biswas, I know, he was just 2 years junior by me. And also, as a part of the Global Alumni Association, as in working as a president of Global Alumni Association for past 3 years, I have seen, great personalities from this department, like, Professor Amitav Ghosh, Amita Hoda, Achyut Ghosh. I mean, they are really, institution in their own space. And I definitely have a lot of respect to this great department, and wish all the best to this department's students in this centenary year, and wish this department prospers more and more. And thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for those words. Now, I would like to request Mr. Achyut Ghosh, former president of Gabesu, to share a few words with us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
I have, I was also not prepared, but Anjana is there. Amitav is my great friend. Amitav is there. Now, I don't know whether the director is still present. If he's there, then I must address the director, and I address Shudip, Dr. Shudip Ghosh, and all others. So, Amitabh and Gautam, they are my great friends. Amitabh, I was visiting professor to Jadavpur University and working there in the construction engineering department. I was a member of the board. I told Amitabh, I got Amitabh somehow to take some classes. So would you believe me that I attended those classes as a student? Now, let me come back to my department. When I was the student, we had illustrious professors like Professor Durga Banerjee, Professor Bhupal Datta. Our chairman was at that time A.C. Roy, Atul Chandra Roy. He was a great man. I remember while we were talking we are coming to the college, walking, crossing the field. He told us, don't do that. As an engineer, you are not supposed to walk the field. You have to use the roads. Go back, and use the roads. So those are things I remember. I remember with great happiness, mental freedom. And to tell you, our food, whatever is our food, our cost was 35 rupees for the hostel. And naturally, somehow I am not ashamed to tell you that I don't have to pay any fees to the college. And I earned, it was very difficult. You can get in any of the subjects in the weekly meet exams. But somehow I have not failed. So I went on enjoying the 50 rupees scholarship for all 4 years, and my tuition fees of rupees 25 was free. My father could pay hardly few 30 rupees per month. I mean, I could not afford beyond that also. So 30 rupees per month and rupees 12 for the breakfast. And my students here, my present friends whom I am seeing, they will be delighted to know that I could spend hardly rupees 50 per month, 600 per year. That was the total cost of my education from my father. And my son graduated in 1993, Pinaki, from the same mechanical department. His cost was 50,000 rupees for the whole 4 years. I don't know about you, mother. I can see Shumona and others. I don't know how much is the cost your parents has to pay. Anyway, that was in a lighter way it was told. Now, our department, today, I have got one complaint to tell Shudip. Shudip is showing the front of our mechanical engineering department. We are not entering from the front, from the main building, administrative building. We are entering through the side door, the thermal laboratory. But the front is not good. That has to be improved. Otherwise, you can't call that a departmental front entrance. Okay, that is that much. So, we had, as I was telling, I am not prepared for this like on Jonah, but I am just gossiping to my friends, to my students. I used to go to the college once in a month, once in 2 months, to take some classes here and there, to enter the laboratory and to smell my childhood. I used to do that. I have left the college in 1961. But till about 2-3 years back, I used to go to the college once in a while. But somehow, in the present time, maybe due to COVID and due to few other reasons, my presence in the college has become very limited. I really, I do not enjoy that. I really do not like it. Now, another few things I'll tell you. I had illustrious professors that I am telling you. Professor Bhupal Datta, Professor Amitabha Bhattacharya. I had great Professor Amitabha Bhattacharya, both Amitabha Ghosh present here and me, Uchut. Both our teachers were Amitabha Bhattacharya. He was later in Kanpur, and he was there, and there he was vice president of World Engineering Congress, and he used to wear dhutis and Punjabi. That was his dress. He used to spend 3 months in Russia teaching. He used to spend 3 months in America teaching, and he used to spend 6 months in our college. Later on, he joined Jadavpur and he opened the machine tool laboratory there. Now, I tell you, when I graduated, my friends, young friends, Professor Bhattacharya told me in a casual way, come, you come to me, I'll put you to Illinois. I had some other things in my brain. In the final year, 4 of my friends has opened another organization, another company, Medco. So we said, sir, we are involved in this company. I cannot go with you to whatever university, Illinois. He was a professor there. He said, now you are fighting these days to go to America and all that. But I don't advise anybody to go to anywhere. My country is the best country today in the world. We are coming up. We are coming up. So this is the place to do your work, to do your research, to enjoy your work. And my mothers, I can see, my friends, student friends, I cannot see here in the front. I can assure you that I have been to 80 countries in the world. India is one of the best places to work and enjoy your work. Now, Amitabh is laughing from me. You know, Professor Ghosh will be talking to you after some time. Professor Ghosh, it is so difficult to get your books printed in Springer Verlag, one of the best companies in the world in printing. Now, people submit their manuscript. Springer Verlag says, we have to approve. Our board will approve. For Amitabha, they say, sir, we have given you the printing date. When you are giving us the book, there is no question of approval and all that. So this kind of friend I had. I am 61. Amitabha is 62. Now, there are, as Amitabha Bhattacharya came up, he had his PRS, Premchand Rajchandra Scholar. So there was a book he prepared on that. So all 8 students from our batch, including Amitabha from my next batch, we worked on his engineering program, and it was a beautiful atmosphere. Now I remember Professor Shankar Sen of Electrical Engineering Department. We used to do modeling work. That was Professor Sen arranged a workshop separately for us. He gave the key to us. There was lathe there, there was a shaping machine there, there was a grinding machine there, and we used to prepare machines, models in those workshops. We used to spend up to night 8, 10 in that, and after that we came back, or we had our hostel, came, had our food, and then went back. Those were the days. But those work did not permit us not to do our study. We can do all this work. We could play and we could study as well. And I can assure all my friends here that, am I exceeding my time limit, Shudip? Am I exceeding my time limit? Okay, I'll continue for a few more minutes. So I can assure you, in this world today, whatever you do, there will be food for you, there will be work for you. You need not think, you need not be so serious that if I don't study day in and day out, I won't be able to make a good grade, and my possibility of getting a good job will be limited. No. Anyway, Shudip has requested me to give one of your lectures. What I propose to lecture is how to be an engineer. So if you like, you can attend my lecture whenever they will give me time. I will give you a lecture how to be an engineer. Right. So I have talked enough. I discussed some of my contemporary teachers. I discussed Then Professor Bimal Sen was there in applied mechanics. And Professor Shankar Sen, he used to encourage us to work in the workshop, in the laboratory. I know, I asked him after my graduation, when I was doing business, sir, if I have a load coming down and if there is a crane mechanism trying to control it, how it will work? He said, come, I'll show you. So he connected a 15 kilowatt motor with a 10 kilowatt motor and started the both thing in the opposite direction. I got first-hand knowledge how a overrunning load will overload a motor and permit it to work as a generator. So anyway, I was not prepared for the meeting and the computer was giving me some problem. I called my granddaughter. She stays with me. She was repaired it. She did it. And somehow when my name was called, I just got my computer repaired and I could face you. It is my privilege that my old college, which I love so much, when we say B college, we don't call IIEST or all this BESAS and all these new names. I was going to use an adjective beyond this name, but I then stopped. I am talking to the students. You cannot use bad adjectives. So I stopped myself. So I'll say all these new names, fine. But mine is B college. We are students of B college, as myself and Amitabh in front of me. So I will not talk. Anyway, whenever I'll get a chance, and if you feel that this old fool can be called to physically take some lectures with you, it will be my pleasure to go and join and give whatever lectures I feel. And I'm getting some of my friends, Professor Amitabh, Professor Jyotsnamaya Chakraborty. He is one of the best in the world. When I say one of the best, I say one of the 4 best people in gears in the world. So I am requesting him to give a lecture. So one of my friend who is head in the welding department in West Bengal Welding Society, I have requested him. He's in Bombay today. My friend Josna is in Tucson, Arizona, in America today. So they will be all joining in due course. And so with these words, I end my deliberations with a happy note and happy face and wait for Amitabh Ghosh's lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing all your memories, and we would surely like to attend your lecture soon. Next, I would like to request Professor Amitabh Sarkar, former professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Jadavpur University, and our beloved alumnus from the batch of 1976, to say a few words.
If Professor Sarkar is not there, then we can move on, I think, to the next speaker.
I think he's not unable to
Maybe Dr.
unmute himself.
Dr. Borun Chakraborty is available, I think.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chakraborty, Dr. Chakraborty is available.
You can request him.
Mr. Request him.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Borun Chakraborty, General Manager and Head of Research and Development Center of Technical Excellence of Larsen & Toubro, to say a few words to our audience. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. And a very good afternoon to all of you. As I was just introduced, I was 1986 mechanical batch. I was thinking all these days that I have become pretty old as an alumnus. But in this August gathering, I feel that I'm much younger. And thank you very much for the words of wisdom and the encouragement that have been flowing from our seniors, great seniors. It has been almost 35 years since I have left college, but the attachment continues to be as strong as ever, and it feels just like yesterday. And there are very few departments, engineering departments in different institutes in this country that can boast of completing 100 years, and ours is one of them, and we should justifiably feel very proud of it. I feel very privileged to be a part of this inaugural program for the Centenary celebrations, and it really calls for a celebration. But at the same time, all of us who have been through the great portals of that institute and the department, we should commit ourselves to do whatever we can to make this department achieve greater heights and glory. As some of my seniors have just mentioned what they would like to see, I have similar aspirations to see the department emerge as one of the greatest hub of research and industry connect in this country. And I hope in near future that dream will become a reality. I must thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to join this program, and also I would like to very happily accept their invitation for a talk. I have been interacting with many institutes as part of our Lazen and Tubros campus recruitment and campus connect programs, and I'd like to see more interactions with the IIEST campus, our BEC campus, as I would like to call it. Just like Achudha, we do not know BESU or IIEST, we still know it as BE College. So thank you very much, every single member of the organizing committee, and I wish this centenary celebration event a very grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Here, I would like to add, like just as all of you said that you know our college as BE College and not as BSU or IIST Shibpur, this is a feeling, even if we are a lot junior to you, but the day we entered the city of Howrah, everyone here knows the college by the same name. Now, I would like to request Professor Omitopo Jana, Professor in SUPR, and our beloved alumnus from the batch of 1976 to say a few words.
I'm not sure whether you will be able to hear me. Are you able to hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What should I say? I have graduated, as you see, in the year 1976. It's almost more than 50 years, about 50 years. And somehow I'm keeping touch with our institute for a long time. Myself, Sudeep, and some other faculty from electrical engineering. We organize some conference, in collaboration with our university. As you see, I'm from USA. I'm a faculty in Southern University, Baton Rouge, okay, in mechanical engineering department. So I'm in touch with our university for a long time, but there was not much of activities we can talk about that we did it jointly other than doing a conference. And I think we have some kind of memorandum, MOU between some collaboration with our university and BESU. It's now IIEST, but we prefer to call it, as my earlier speaker told, we call it Shibpur. Okay. So I hope that we'll be able to do some more collaboration in future, and it's really happy to see that our department is celebrating 100 years. We joined when it was about 50 years old. So it's really good to see that you guys are organizing this celebration. I hope all success, and I'll see if we can bring some good speaker in future, after a couple of days or something like that, to celebrate these centenary events. I think that's all, and I hope all the students who are studying now will do a great job in future, and will become very prominent in our field. And that's all. I wish success for my institute and your institute. Okay.
famous of words of yours?
Hello, I think.
Now we have with us today our chief guest, Professor Amitabo Ghosh, an Indian researcher, administrator, and educator. He currently holds the position of Honorary Scientist of Indian National Science Academy, New Delhi, and the National Academy of Science, Allahabad. Now we would like to request our chief guest and beloved alumnus, sir, please address us.
Thank you very much. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Now, as it is expected that I feel delighted and proud because of the grand event, like celebrating 100 years is no joke. So I think I feel particularly proud because I had a much deeper connection with the department in which you are all students. And I think that after crossing 80 years of age, one person's primary job should be to tell stories to the grandchildren. So what I'll do, I'll not go for giving any suggestions or anything. I'll tell you some stories. And I hope the 10 minutes you have given me, maybe you will enjoy these 10 minutes listening to the few things I have to say. First of all, you must remember that I have most probably the strongest connection with this department because I did my bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees from this department. And I also spent 5.5 years of my long teaching career, that is 56 years, in this department. So whatever I learned as a mechanical engineer and whatever I could gain to become a teacher, everything depended on my 12.5 years of presence in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. So I think, friends, I think you should know a few things about this department which may not have been preserved. And I think before all this information gets lost, I'll request the head of the department to think of preparing a book on history of mechanical engineering of BE College, because now it deserves to have a book on that because it has spent 100 years. Very few institutes had mechanical engineering department in those days. Even when in the 50s, even BHU also had a combined mechanical electrical engineering department. No. Another thing you should know, I am telling my young friends, that BE College was the first to start the 2-year master's degree program in the country. Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and IIT Kharagpur, these are the only two institutes which had with postgraduate program in those days, early 50s, but all those programs were 1-year program. So in that sense, you can say in higher education, our institute played a very important role, and perhaps its proper recognition it has not received. Many people may have forgotten these things. I would also like to mention that in research, our department was a very reputed department, and researchers used to come from all parts of the country for doing their master's degree program here, because this was one of the very few places where one could earn an MTech or Master of Engineering degree. In our time when we were students, many of our students, the brightest of the students, they used to join as postgraduate student in this department program. And a majority of them, they had risen to very high positions, and not only from the point of view of fame or power, but even from the kind of respect they earned from the society. Persons like Professor Ashok Malik, Mr. Achyut Ghosh, and many others who really went up to very high positions, but they did their master's degree program in this department. I'm telling it specifically because you understand that when somebody graduates and gets a BTech degree, that is not very uncommon that many of them will flourish. But I think many of the MTech students of our department did very well at a later time. And not only our BTech students, many BTech students from other places, from south, from north, from west of India used to come here. And we had many outstanding professors. Achyuta has told about it. And along with that, we had a large number of American professors in the department in those days. See, the first CSR major research grant in whole of the country, India, came to this department. And you'll be amazed to learn that the advanced topic like gas turbine was the gas turbine development and research on gas turbine was that project. You know that I taught in this department from 1965 May to December 1970. Then I shifted to IIT Kanpur. I have seen that I knew very well all the IITs, IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur. I knew very well IIT Delhi. You will not believe that when I went there, I found that the kind of topics we used to teach at BE College to the undergraduate boys, like gas turbine, mechanism synthesis, they are not taught in the undergraduate level in those high-level institutes like IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, or IIT Bombay. So therefore, the academic standard of this department, I can tell based on my 56 years of teaching experience and knowing all the institutions of India in and out, that the academic standard we had in those days, in the 60s, definitely was to be proud of, and no institute in those days could compare with us. I only didn't know anything about IIT Kharagpur because I visited IIT Kharagpur much later when I visited it as the director, but that was in the year 1997. But I am talking about 1970, 1971. So from the point of view of academic research and undergraduate academic standard, this department was at the top. Secondly, I will mention that this department has something which I think we are not really paying attention to. One of my former students who was a BTech student of IIT Kanpur, and after doing BTech, he went to USA as usual. But as a very special case, he came back, which also doesn't happen usually, and became a faculty in IIT Kanpur. Now he is the Dean of Faculty at IIT Delhi and a professor of mechanical engineering. So once he told that, sir, can you show me BE College? I have heard so much about it, but I have never seen it. He is not from Calcutta, by the way. So once during our summer vacation, I came. I used to come occasionally, once or 2 year gap. I used to visit Calcutta. And he came with me and I brought him to a BE College. You won't believe, he being an IIT Kanpur graduate and a master's doctorate from Ohio State University and a professor of IIT and IIT Delhi, he was amazed to see the department's wealth, which you do not see. I took him to our thermal laboratory. For a student to see those things, that you have the kind of facilities we had, that kind of boiler, kind of prime movers, kind of ice engine laboratory, you won't find anywhere. But we don't consider them valuable. But remember that such things are extremely important to convey the sense of engineering to a graduating student. It is not just a desktop computer or a laptop which makes a person engineer. So he was very sad to see that those things are not being properly maintained or preserved. I also, when I came back after my retirement, if you may not know that after retirement in 2008, I joined this place in honorary capacity. I don't take any salary, but I have started teaching from 2008 or 2007 as an honorary distinguished professor. I taught professional courses in mechanical department, and one of my students is now an assistant professor at IIT Kanpur, who graduated from this place after I joined as a distinguished honorary professor. And then I found something, that we had a lot of very valuable models of mechanisms which are not to be found anywhere in the country. And one international organization came and wanted to have a look at those because they are preparing a kind of a glossary of all the mechanisms. I was amazed to see that what I saw till 1970, they all vanished. I came to know that they have been all simply thrown out, considering as junk. So, my dear friends, particularly my young students, you should now see that what you consider as something very important and to be properly archived and restored, because this department has spent 100 years in producing mechanical engineers, and lots of things we have lost just because of our ignorance, or rather this don't care attitude, throw these things away. So I think our department that way still perhaps can have many things, and I will request the head of the department that Sudeep, please see that before things get completely lost, information are sent to the darkness of oblivion, you should write, or rather take initiative in writing a proper history of the Department of Mechanical Engineering BE College, which is 100 years old. And still you will have some, perhaps not many, but very few people who may still remember some of the old days, glorious days things, and also the kind of contribution our department has made, which I am quite sure is completely unknown to my young friends these days. Many professors of our other IITs, they were actually our postgraduate students, starting from Professor Amita Bhattacharya, who was one of our earliest MTech students or master students. And as very rightly said by Professor Roy, that we have as our alumni 3 directors of 3 major IITs. Now, another thing I would like to mention, that why, I think comparing, as I think Professor Gautam Biswas mentioned, when you compare IIT, or rather Roorkee University and a BE college, they are almost identical. But why the results became different and their paths became different, that's a very sad issue and sad story, which I myself uh, experienced being present, being a part and parcel of this campus from 1958 to 1970. But I think it is better not to resurrect those old sad things. And it was purely, I can say, the neglect on our country, our state's side, our government side, the total neglect, and rather I'll say exploitation, which this institute has been subjected to, was responsible why Roorkee University became what Roorkee is now, and why BE College became what BE College is now. But I am quite sure I have tried my best to provide BE College a proper national status, and I am 100% sure that my very able young friends as faculty and students and the administration, that you will really take it to the height of glory what it deserves. So thank you very much, Sudeep, for kindly inviting me, and I express my all best wishes for a very successful year while you celebrate the centenary. And the first lecture, as you have kindly offered me to deliver, I will start at 5:30 sharp, and that's what I will stop it now. Thank you very much, and all the very best to you.
Thank you, sir. I would attempt preserving whatever we have. In fact, that's why we don't destroy the STEAM lab. It's quite old, but still trying to maintain it. It's getting difficult, but still we are carrying on. Thank you, sir. And we'll also attempt writing a history of mechanical engineering here. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to request our HOD to take the permission of our Honorable Director, sir, to declare the centenary celebrations open.
I would request our Honorable Director, Professor Chakraborty, to declare the centenary celebrations open. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Ghosh. And I declare this centenary celebration open following this inaugural session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, presenters proceed.
Now, we would like to request our respected professor in charge of the Society of Mechanical Engineers and the convener of our Centenary Celebration Ceremony Committee, Dr. Vidyut Pal sir, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
It's an honor to have been asked to offer a vote of thanks on the occasion of the inaugural ceremony of the centenary celebrations of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIEST Shibpur. On behalf of the department and the Centenary Celebration Committee, I express our warmest gratitude to our Honorable Director, Sir, Professor Dr. Parthasarathi Chakraborty, for his gracious presence and presiding over the inaugural ceremony. Sir, we sincerely thank you for your support and encouragement for the Centenary Celebration events. Your kind words, ideas, and thoughts are well appreciated. I'd like to extend our sincere thanks to Professor Amitabh Ghosh, the chief guest of the session, and department alumnus from 1962. We are very grateful to you, sir, for sharing your valuable time with us and for your memories. Our heartfelt thanks to our guest of honor, Professor Gautam Biswas, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Kanpur, and a department alumnus. Sir, thank you very much for your guidance to shape up the event and sharing your memories with us. We are grateful to all the deans of the institute, Professor Sudip Kumar Roy, Dean Academic, Professor Subhasis Bhaumik, Dean Planning and Development, Professor Arindam Biswas, Dean International Relations and Alumni Affairs, Professor Hafizur Rahman, Dean Research and Consultancy, Professor Prasanta Kumar Nandi, Dean Faculty Welfare, and Professor D. Mojumdar, Dean Students Welfare. Sir, we thank you all for your gracious presence and accepting our invitation to be part of the centenary celebrations. Our heartiest gratitude and sincere thanks to all the dignitaries present here representing Gabesu. President Mrs. Sanjana Ganguly Roy, Secretary Mr. Sitanshu Sekhar Ghosh, Mr. Achyut Ghosh, Past President. Sir and ma'am, we thank you very much for accepting our invitation, sparing time with us and sharing your memories. We feel very happy to get connected to you all in this auspicious occasion. Your help and support are much appreciated. Our heartfelt thanks to all the other dignitaries present in this session, Professor Amitabh Jana, Professor Amitabh Sarkar, Dr. Varun Chakraborty, Dr. T.K. Singh. Thank you very much for all sharing your kind words and eventful memories with the department. We thank all the alumni members present here in the audience. Thank you for joining the celebration. We'd like to reach out to you all and seek your participation on all the future events of the celebrations. I'd like to express my thankfulness to Professor Sudip Ghosh, Head, Department of Mechanical Engineering, for his constant encouragement, motivation, and efforts to initiate and organize this celebration. Sir, without your vision and meticulous planning, this would not have been possible. I'm indebted to all the Centenary Celebration Committee members, faculties, and alumni. Your ideas and time and efforts put forward is very commendable. Thank you very much to all the professors and faculties of the department for tendering their ideas, help, and support to make this event successful. Thank you very much to all the former professors present here. Thank you, sir, for making time and joining this celebration. Your participation and inputs are very much appreciated. Thanks to all the staffs of the department for tendering your support to the event. Thank you to all the professors and faculties of the institute in the audience to make yourself available for the inaugural ceremony. We would seek your presence in the upcoming events of the celebrations. My thanks to officers and staffs of the institute present here. We feel very happy that you all became part of this auspicious celebration. Sincere thanks to all the external guests from other universities and organizations for joining this celebration. I thank all the support teams from the institute, network and infrastructure team, publicity team, website team for helping us to shape up, organize, and conduct this event. I thank our student anchors, Ms. Tanishta Bagh and Ms. Samona De for hosting this session. Last but not the least, I thank our current students of the department, undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD, and also the students of the institute for their participations to make this event successful. Departmental students who have volunteered to help us preparing for, supporting, and publicizing the events in various ways. Thanks very much. Student members of the Society of Mechanical Engineers and organizers of the Impetus 5, Your initiatives and efforts to organize and conduct the technical fest of the department as part of the Centenary Celebration is thankfully acknowledged. We appreciate your hard work. If I have missed out to acknowledge anyone, that is unintentional. Thank you very much to one and all for your help, support, and contribution in whatever form. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for all your efforts and for that wonderful